Now on Coast TV News.
Some patchy frost this Friday morning on Delmarva, waking up to temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. I'm tracking a picture-perfect fall Friday and a cool, dry weekend ahead.
Fighting the frost, how to care for your outdoor plants as the cold conditions settle in.
Sea Witch Weekend, it kicks off today. We get ready for all of the Halloween-related events along the coast.
Lewis in the World Series. Game 1 is tonight for Cape Henlopen grad Mason Fluharty and his Toronto Blue Jays.
This is Coast TV News Today.
And welcome to our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. It is Friday, October 24th, 2025.
And for those who want to get their spot for tailgating on Rehoboth Avenue for Sea Witch, at least on the sidewalk side, the window should be open now.
Yes, Rehoboth Beach is going to be the place to be this weekend. Our whole Coast TV team will be in the Sea Witch Parade tomorrow. Very exciting stuff.
I think part of the fun, not only is it what's taking place on the street with the floats, the tailgate scene is a great tailgate scene.
People
I always like seeing what
over.
they have.
It is an exciting event. My first one, I was pretty amazed. So if you haven't been, be sure to come this weekend. Chris, you're actually going to be going to your first Sea Witch Festival tomorrow.
Yes, I am. Looking forward to it, and the weather's going to be cooperating. A pleasant good morning, Delmarva. It is a cold start out there this morning. We are seeing temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. We're at 36 in Cambridge. Winds are calm, but you can see elsewhere we're at 35 in Long Neck, 38 Milford, 34 in Harrington. So waking up to some patchy frost west of Coastal Highway. Temperatures are in the lower to mid 40s at the beaches. Winds are calm, skies are clear, and they're going to stay that way through the morning and into the afternoon, all thanks to high pressure that's going to be building in through the west and settling right over the mid-Atlantic through the weekend. So temperatures beginning in the 30s this morning, plenty of sunshine, sunrise at 7:20. And we're looking at wall-to-wall sunshine through the day today. And it is going to be just a picture-perfect fall day on the peninsula. And we are looking at a cool, dry weekend ahead. And then, unfortunately, we're watching the threat of another coastal storm as we go into the middle part of next week. We're up to 53 by around 10 a.m., 58 by around your lunchtime, and we'll top out right in the lower 60s this afternoon. I'll have more on that potential coastal storm next week in my full forecast. Matt.
Thank you, Chris. Our top story this hour is the frost that Chris was just telling us about, and though it's likely limited to areas away from the coast, there's still a focus all over Delmarva to care for plants. Here are some recommendations. If you cover your plants, use a breathable material such as a blanket or bed sheet. If you're storing your palm or citrus plant in your garage, there are some more things to take into account.
We usually use the rule of thumb, maybe 40, 45 degrees is where we feel like there can be some damage. It doesn't have to get down to 32 for it to totally be damaged. You might not kill it, but you might lose some of the foliage, you might lose some of the plant.
And Cordry says it's important to store plants at temperatures of at least 50 degrees with plenty of light, and oftentimes people will use grow lights for their stored trees as a supplemental light.
And here's a look at some data across Delmarva. Almost right on the money in Seaford, the first average frost is October 24th. In Fenwick Island, the average first frost happened on or around October 28th. Georgetown, the average first frost is October 31st. But in Lewis, it's not until November 7th. This is now going to bring us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, what's your biggest worry about frost?
Yeah, we had a little change here, and people continue to vote for high bills. I get it.
That's my vote, too.
That'd probably be if I had one vote, I'd vote for all of these, but if I only had one, it would be the high bill, 72%. We are having also a good number of people chiming in with plant damage, frozen pipes, and driving at risk. A few people are voting for that. And if you haven't voted yet, you can still do so at coasttv.com or the mobile app. Now taking a live look at Rehoboth Beach, we are anticipating large crowds will fill this area today as the annual Sea Witch Festival begins.
Yes, and there's a bunch of activities to look forward to happening in just a few hours. According to organizers, at 10 a.m., people can head down the Scarecrow Trail and even vote on their favorite one. At 11, visitors can learn more about the nation's summer capital at the Rehoboth Beach Historical Tour. At noon, it's the Indoor Artisan and Vendor Show at the Chamber of Commerce. And you can hear live music at 6:30 by the 19th Street Band. This will take place at the bandstand.
This just in this morning, you're looking at plans for a new and improved Rehoboth Beach Public Library. As you can see, these are pictures of what a potential new meeting room, study room, children's collection, a new circulation desk, as well as changes to the outside. The Rehoboth Beach Public Library is just one step closer to getting that big facelift. The city's planning commission has advanced the preliminary site plan for the long-awaited renovation project for a public hearing that's set for today.
The proposal, years in the making, keeps most of the work within the current footprint, but does include a 630 square foot addition on the south side near Christian Street.
Plans also call for a refreshed facade and new landscaping to give the library a more modern look and feel. And people with the library, they're telling us that if the work is approved, it will take place on one side at a time while the other side stays open.
Also happening today, a proposed development along Coastal Highway in Rehoboth Beach is moving forward for more review. City planners are set to take another look at a major subdivision planned to be located along the Forgotten Mile in the city. According to leaders, they will look at plans for what's being called Oceanside Reserve. The area is over 7.5 acres, which developers seek to build 33 new lots. That review is taking place today at 1:30.
New this morning in Fenwick Island, town officials are debating solutions that will hopefully minimize the damage from flooding. In the span of 3 months, Fenwick Island has had 2 big flooding situations, last week's nor'easter, and the video we are showing you here of damage done by the remnants of Hurricane Erin. This afternoon, the town council is reviewing the survey and legal costs of an infrastructure project on Farmington Street. This is a pilot demonstration which will create a living shoreline to help stop rising water.
We need to continue to have those discussions. We have been having the discussions. We've learned an awful lot, but there's a lot to learn, and there needs to be funding.
Last month, the town started placing sandbags at the end of Farmington Street and connecting them with neighboring properties to form a natural berm, goal of preventing tidal waters from entering the street during high water.
Developing news in Millsboro, leaders are considering a change to the town code that could allow food trucks year-round. Right now, they're only permitted during festivals and events, but a discussion at the Charter and Code Review Committee could open the road for more Meals on Wheels. Most trucks in the Millsboro area are only used for private parties and catering, but some restaurants say that change would open new opportunities.
Trying to build some new stuff here, trying to put some incredible things in here, but I feel like that bringing food trucks here to Millsboro will help a lot with trying to connect the communities together, especially with different types of races, you know.
Leaders will gather this afternoon at 2:45, and while this is only a discussion, food truck owners are hoping for a real green light in the near future.
Also in Millsboro, lowering speed limits is getting a look at. That's on the agenda for the Downtown Millsboro Committee. They plan to debate the pros and cons of lowering speeds to 25 miles per hour, and the Downtown Millsboro Committee is meeting at 1 p.m.
A similar idea is taking place in South Bethany. The town council will meet today to discuss speed limits townwide. According to the agenda, the change is being recommended by the Bicycle and Pedestrian Safety Committee. Leaders in South Bethany will gather in just a few hours at 9 a.m. to discuss this.
We're now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. New tariffs are now in effect across the world, and President Trump posted overnight that he's terminated all trade negotiations with Canada. New overnight, the president saying the Ontario government misrepresented remarks from Ronald Reagan in an ad speaking negatively about the tariffs.
All this as he says his administration has been successful in strikes against boats they say were carrying drugs. NBC's Alice Barr shows us what could be next for both issues.
President Trump overnight calling off all trade negotiations with Canada over this Government of Ontario ad featuring former President Reagan saying high tariffs lead to retaliation and fierce trade wars.
Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs.
The president citing a statement from the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute accusing Ontario of using selective audio and video that misrepresents the 1987 address without asking permission to use and edit the remarks, noting the foundation is reviewing legal options. President Trump accusing Ontario of interfering with a looming Supreme Court case on the legality of his tariffs that he called very important to national security and the economy. That amid growing legal questions over the Trump administration's military strikes against alleged drug trafficking boats in the Caribbean Sea and Eastern Pacific Ocean.
The cartels are waging war on America, and just as I promised in the campaign we're waging war on them.
The president now suggesting operations may move on land, saying his administration will inform Congress about targeting drug runners on land, but stopped short of promising to seek authorization for military force. Democrats in Congress calling for hearings on the strikes that have killed at least 37 people. The administration has not presented evidence there were drugs in all of the boats, though the president is adamant the strikes are legal and necessary to keep drugs out of the country. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
We have new information from Delaware State Police after a truck crashed into Beshi Furniture on Lewis-Georgetown Highway Thursday around noon. You can see pictures right here on your screen. Police say a Ford F-150 was traveling west on Lewis-Georgetown Highway near Gravel Hill Road when the driver lost control and drove off the road. The agency tells us the driver, a 56-year-old man from Laurel, was treated by EMS for minor scratches. Troopers say he got a ticket for inattentive driving. Luckily, no other injuries were reported.
Tonight in Toronto, it is Game 1 of the World Series, and Cape Henlopen High School product Mason Fluharty continues his rookie season as a relief pitcher for the Blue Jays. Fluharty has appeared in 7 games in the postseason, racking up 7 strikeouts. First pitch against the Dodgers will take place sometime after 8 p.m.
And we're just getting started in this hour of Coast TV News Today.
Coming up, hotel tax hike. It's a story we've covered in Ocean City. Why we could now see all of Worcester County have something similar in place.
Also, possible dam distress. We'll tell you why people living in one Delaware community say neglect has led to an issue that could be dangerous for everyone.
Faster and farther. How this new shoe designed by Nike could be a first of its kind innovation. And there is First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobono. He's in the Weather Center. We've got some cold temperatures to tell you about. We check in with him next.
Good Friday morning, Delmarva. The weekend knocking on our door and stepping out the door this morning. It is cold. We are seeing temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. We're at 36 in Cambridge, 34 in Harrington, 34 Gumboro. So some patchy frost likely this morning, especially if you are west of the beaches. Calm winds, clear skies, that's going to be the theme through the day today. The winds will pick up a bit through the afternoon as we take a look. Well, might notice the leaves beginning to change here on Delmarva. We have patchy to moderate leaf changes here throughout the peninsula, but you can see to our north through the Poconos, they are at the peak or just past the peak, and then they're at the peak there across much of New Jersey. Well, Sunfest going on in Ocean City, a beautiful day, 61, and temperatures will hover generally around the lower 60s through the weekend, with additional cloud cover as we go into Sunday. We will talk about the rest of your weekend and some potential stormier weather into next week coming up on full forecast. Matt.
Okay, Chris, and you mentioned that here. We're starting to see the effects of Tropical Storm Melissa. Check out this video that we got from the Dominican Republic. Flooding already taking place. You can see that one car in the distance there. The water's over the hood. There are warnings that 5 to 10 inches of rain could fall through Friday.
A local giveaway is helping families get ready for the cold weather, and kids could go home with a brand new coat this weekend. Tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 2, families can stop by the Lewis Library for free winter coats for kids thanks to a partnership with Operation Warm. Organizers say the event is open to everyone, no registration is required, and coats will be handed out while supplies last.
We have a heads up for drivers in Millsboro. Right there on your screen, we're showing you where DelDOT says closures will occur in order to reconstruct the roadway. Godwin School Road between Revel Road and Millsboro Highway, closing starting on Monday, October 27th through November 2nd.
Target is planning to lay off around 1,000 corporate employees, and along with those layoffs, the company also announced it will not be filling 800 positions that are currently open. The company says the layoffs and changes will help Target be better positioned for the future. It comes as Target has been dealing with slumping sales and backlash after it dialed back its DEI program earlier this year.
Nike is unveiling Project Amplify. The company has teamed with a robotics company to create the world's first powered footwear system for running and walking. The experimental footwear features a lightweight, powerful motor and rechargeable battery that is part of the running shoe. The new product is for average people, probably like myself, who like to jog, run, or walk. Not a pro like you.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, we are going to see some cold conditions if you're heading out for a jog this morning, and temperatures are only going to be getting into the upper 50s to lower 60s through the afternoon. A pleasant, dry weekend ahead, but we could turn a bit stormy as we go into next week. We'll talk more about that coming up in the full forecast just after the break on CoastTV News Today.
Time is 6:19, and here's a live look. We got a little bit of a breeze there at the Roosevelt Inlet in Lewis. Check out those flags on the left. Chris Mastrobono's back with us, and Chris, I'm excited, not only because it's Friday, but we have a really good fall afternoon on tap.
I'm calling it a picture perfect fall day. I mean,
Okay.
can't get any better. I mean, we're looking at mostly sunny skies. Winds won't be as strong, but we're waking up to some cold temperatures. 34 in Long Neck. We're at 35. Redden, 34 in Harrington. So some patchy frost out there this morning. Slightly milder along the coast where we're getting that wind off the ocean. Some northerly winds there, but as we get closer to the ocean, we typically see some milder conditions there, and temperatures are in the 40s. We have frost advisories across South Jersey and to our southwest across Maryland and Virginia. We could see some frost advisories, I think, early tomorrow morning for parts of Delmarva. We are clear, we're dry, and we're going to stay that way throughout the day today, and that's all thanks to high pressure building in from the Tennessee River Valley, and that's going to be moving in through the area today. 36 right now in Laurel, one of our cold spots this morning. Plenty of sunshine. We have sunrise just after 7:20 this morning. Beautiful conditions through the afternoon with highs topping out in the low 60s this afternoon. Clear skies through the afternoon and into the evening. It's going to be a beautiful evening, but another cold night. Waking up early Saturday morning, once again dealing with some patchy frost. Temperatures mid to upper 30s by the afternoon. We are in the upper 50s to lower 60s, and then a bit more in the way of cloud cover as we roll into Sunday, but overall a pleasant dry weekend. Winds out of the northwest today gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour. We'll see more of a northerly wind into Saturday and Sunday, but a rather calm wind, winds anywhere between about 5 to 15 miles an hour. So if you're making your way out to Sea Witch, kicking off today, a beautiful start. 62 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Saturday looking great as well, with temperatures right in the upper 50s. We are going to see rain chances ramp up. It looks like early to middle part of next week. We turn unsettled. We're going to be watching the coast closely for a potential coastal storm developing. Once again, this could bring strong onshore flow, wind-driven rain, as well as some coastal flooding issues, depending upon how this system evolves into early next week. But it does look like it kicks out by Halloween. We have Tropical Storm Melissa. This system is going to be continuing to batter a portion of Jamaica as well as Haiti. We're looking at upwards of over a foot of rain, and you can see the system not moving all that much, but actually intensifying into a major hurricane and then eventually curving to the northeast as we go into the middle part of next week. Beautiful dry weekend. We'll see more in the way of cloud cover Sunday, still dry into Monday, and then watching for that coastal storm to develop Tuesday, and then we stay rather unsettled Wednesday through Thursday of next week. Matt.
Thank you, Chris. We have developing news across Delmarva. People living in Clayton's Wheatley's Pond neighborhood, they're sounding the alarm over what they say has been years of neglect. City officials met with neighbors this week to discuss the pond's condition. Overgrowth at the pond, that's become an eyesore, and people say it's now a safety hazard. It could actually impact the dam. While the HOA is responsible for maintenance, get this, there is no functioning HOA board in place and no elections have been held in years. Neighbors say it's only a matter of time before something goes wrong.
I'm really worried about if the dam does fail completely. From what we're being told, if something like that were to happen, it's going to be a catastrophic event.
And although the town has passed an ordinance requiring routine inspections and maintenance, officials say little can be done until a former HOA board is in place.
We've rounded up all the spooky, silly, and festive fun across Delmarva this weekend. It's in your cool things to do coming up next.
Worcester County is considering increasing the maximum hotel room tax from 5 to 6%. County leaders say the extra penny on the dollar would come from visitors, not people who live there, and could generate millions for tourism and public safety. Industry groups argue Ocean City would remain competitive with other East Coast beach destinations.
This tax increase to the Ocean City hospitality industry is not something that would hurt us because it is dedicated to tourism marketing and advertising. There is a formula. The formula has been in place since 2007, and that formula works.
The draft change requires a unanimous vote from all 7 commissioners, with public hearings set for next month. If approved, the higher rate could take effect before an upcoming season, targeting marketing and core services that support tourism and economy.
A cold Friday morning on Delmarva as we take a live look into Lewis. 37 degrees there. Winds are relatively calm for the most part across much of Delmarva. Making your way out to Sunfest, Ocean City this afternoon, looking very nice with temperatures hovering in the upper 50s to right around 60 degrees. Fenwick Island, we're up to near 60 by around your lunchtime hour. Lewis, we're looking at temperatures beginning into the 40s and going into the upper 50s through the afternoon. And we have Sea Witch kicking off in Rehoboth. Wall-to-wall sunshine. Winds gusting upwards of 20 miles an hour throughout the afternoon. Cambridge, a beautiful afternoon there with temperatures right around 60 degrees, as well as Crisfield. So a gorgeous day all around on the Delmarva Peninsula. We have Tony Schoolfield, Seaford, Delaware. You're the winner of our Coast TV weather umbrella. And as always, get your latest forecast by dialing the First Alert Weather phone. We will talk about some unsettled weather middle part of next week coming up in that next half hour. Elisa and Matt.
Thank you, Chris. Well, Friday is finally here and Halloween is creeping closer.
Yeah, from spooky celebrations to something a little less scary, Coast TV's Christina DeRobertis has your cool things to do.
So I think we can all agree the weekend before Halloween, that's basically Halloween, right? Well, at least in Rehoboth Beach it is. The Sea Witch Festival runs all weekend long. The big parade kicks off at 11 a.m. Saturday, but there's a lot more than that. There's a kids zone, live music, scavenger hunts, and more, and Coast TV will be walking in the parade, so say hi to us. Wags, witches, and warlocks will take over Bethany Beach Saturday for a town-wide Halloween festival and parade. That starts at 10 a.m. There's a costume contest for people and for pets. Milton will have a Halloween carnival at Hudson Fields from 1 to 6 p.m. Saturday with food trucks, bounce houses, and music. Also in Milton, Dogfish Head is hosting Punk Day Saturday. So that means pumpkin ale, pumpkin liqueur, and just regular punk. So don't be scared to go heavy on the eyeliner. The Salisbury Zoo has its biggest event of the year this weekend, Halloween happening at the zoo. People of all ages are encouraged to dress up. Kids can trick or treat throughout the zoo. And this is probably the least Halloween-y event, but you can still dress up for the Delaware Renaissance Fair. It only comes around once a year for a few weekends, so it's worth the trip up to Town's End. You can find details about all of these events over on CoastTV.com. All you have to do is click on Cool Things to Do.
Now on Coast TV News.
Some patchy frost this Friday morning on Delmarva, waking up to temperatures in the mid to upper 30s. I'm tracking a picture-perfect fall Friday and a cool, dry weekend ahead.
Cold weather care with the drop in temperatures, how to keep your favorite plants protected.
Plans for Pages, the public hearing in Rehoboth Beach on its library renovations. We look at what is in the proposal.
Ready for the witch. From parking to a variety of activities, what to expect this weekend at the annual Halloween event.
This is Coast TV News Today.
October 24th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
Time is 6:32, and in the words of the great Rebecca Black, it is Friday.
Do you listen to that song on your way to work on Friday
don't,
mornings?
but it's in here. It's in the jukebox in my mind.
I think you listen to it. I think you blast it in your car on the way to work. Get ready for a good Friday.
Well, who doesn't?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
Don't
true.
we all?
If you're not starting your
Chris,
day, yeah.
Chris is with me on this. Chris Mastrobono, First Alert meteorologist. When he's making that trek into work, he has Rebecca Black blasting, right?
Maybe not Rebecca Black. Maybe I have Sinatra blasted.
Ah!
At about, what's that, 2:30 in the morning when I'm on my way to work. Laurel, as we take a live look there, bright blue skies, a clear, cold start to our day. We're at 36 degrees, calm winds, and that's making for some cold conditions across the area. 34 Delmar, Gumboro. We're at 35 in Harrington, so waking up to some patchy frost. Slightly milder along the beaches. We're at 45 Rehoboth and 43 in Bethany Beach. You can see clear skies across the area, and that's the way it's going to stay throughout the day today. shower activity across the Great Lakes, but high pressure is going to be our friend as it parks right over the mid-Atlantic throughout the day today and into the weekend. So plenty of sunshine. We're up to 58 by around your lunchtime, and we'll likely top out around the right around the low 60s this afternoon. West winds gusting upwards of 15 to 25 miles an hour, and a beautiful dry weekend. Partly cloudy skies into our Saturday with some patchy frost. Now we could see more in the way of cloud cover Sunday, but we do stay dry with highs hovering in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Coming up, we will talk about the threat of yet another coastal storm into the middle part of next week. I'll break all that down coming up a little bit later on the newscast. Matt.
Thank you, Chris. And our top story this half hour is the frost that Chris was telling us about. Though it's, again, likely limited to areas away from the coast, there's still a focus all over Delmarva to care for things like plants. Got some recommendations for you about that. If you do cover your plants, use a breathable material such as a blanket or bed sheet, and it is important to store plants at temperatures of at least 50 degrees with plenty of light.
We are now taking a live look outside of Rehoboth Beach, and crowds of people will fill this area today as the annual Sea Witch Festival begins. And there are a slew of activities to look forward to happening in just a few hours. According to organizers, at 10 a.m., people can head down to the Scarecrow Trail and even vote on their favorite one. At 11 a.m., visitors can learn more about the nation's summer capital at the Rehoboth Beach Historical Tour. At noon, it's the Indoor Artisan and Vendor Show at the Chamber of Commerce, and you can hear live music at 6:30 by the 9th Street Band that will take place at the bandstand. And in the 150th year of Ocean City, the town is celebrating 50 years of Sunfest. You can see what that festival looks like right here on your screen. There's also live music to enjoy, hay rides on the sand, and delicious foods and mixed drinks throughout the festival. The event is free to enter and continues through Sunday.
This just in this morning, you're looking at the plans for a new and improved Rehoboth Beach Public Library. As you can see, these are pictures of what a potential new meeting room, study room, children's collection, and new circulation desk, as well as changes to the outside. The Rehoboth Beach Public Library is one step closer to getting that big facelift. The city's planning commission has advanced the preliminary site plan for the long-awaited renovation project to a public hearing that is set for today.
The proposal, years in the making, keeps most of the work within the current footprint, but does include a 630 square foot addition on the south side near Christian Street.
Plans also call for a refreshed facade and new landscaping to give the library a more modern look, a new feel. People tell us with the library that if this work is approved, it will take place on one side at a time, meaning the other side stays open.
In Fenwick Island, town officials are debating solutions that will minimize the damage from flooding. In the span of 3 months, Fenwick Island has had 2 big flooding situations. Last week's nor'easter. In the video we are showing you here of the damage done by the remnants of Hurricane Erin. This afternoon, the town council is reviewing the survey and legal costs of an infrastructure project on Farmington Street. This is a pilot demonstration which will create a living shoreline to help stop rising water.
Millsboro is considering a change to its town code that could allow food trucks year-round. Right now, they're only permitted during festivals and events. Most trucks in the Millsboro area are only used for private parties and catering. The Charter and Code Review Committee is scheduled to look at this at their Friday afternoon meeting.
New overnight today, New York Attorney General Letitia James is due before a federal judge, not as a prosecutor, but as a defendant. Trump's former personal attorney is bringing a fraud case against her.
And Amy Kiley shows us how the defense is using this very first hearing to try to get the case thrown out.
Tish James is being attacked because she had the audacity to hold Donald Trump to the same laws that each and every New Yorker should be held to.
New York Attorney General Letitia James has an arraignment hearing before a federal judge in Virginia today. She's charged with 2 felonies related to mortgage paperwork. They're bank fraud and making false statements to a financial institution.
Letitia James is a dirty cop.
In a court filing, James says she's asking for a dismissal due to, quote, the unlawful appointment of U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan. That's President Donald Trump's former personal lawyer and the only person to sign the indictment against James. It has no signatures from any career Justice Department prosecutors. In her filing, James recommends combining her motion with that of former FBI Director James Comey. He's making a similar argument about Halligan.
Even if these two cases went away, other defendants are going to say Lindsay Halligan is not properly appointed. So this will at some point make its way through the court.
Critics say the Comey and James cases are about revenge, not justice. Trump openly disparages them both for investigating him. In the case James brought against him, he's appealing after 2 judicial rulings finding he was liable for fraud.
You go after these people and they say how horrible you are, and yet I got indicted 5 times and impeached twice.
I'm Mimi Kiley reporting.
Live look at Washington, D.C. as new tariffs are now in effect across the world. President Trump posted overnight that he's terminated all trade negotiations with Canada. President Trump says this is over the Government of Ontario ad featuring former President Reagan saying high tariffs led to retaliation and fierce trade wars. President citing a statement from the Ronald Reagan Presidential Foundation and Institute accusing Ontario of using selective audio and video that misrepresents the 1987 address without asking permission to use and edit the remarks. Here is the ad in question.
Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs.
President Trump is accusing Ontario of interfering with a looming Supreme Court case on the legality of his tariffs that he calls very important to national security and the economy.
And we have a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, bay scallops back at the beach will tell you how a group of scientists returned the species from extinction on the eastern shore.
Also, late drive drama. It was Thursday night football on the Bayside Conference, and we have the gut check in the fourth quarter between White-High and Easton.
And Safety Tool Services will tell you how police say a new online tool in Rehoboth Beach can help you. Stay with us on CoastTV News Today.
Good Friday morning, Delmarva. Maybe going with the hot chocolate this morning. We are seeing some cold temperatures out there. Clear skies into Laurel, 36 degrees, 35 in Long Neck. We're at 34 Gumboro, and we are at 34 in Delmar. We're seeing clear skies as well as the calm winds, and that has been allowing those temperatures to fall at their lowest points this morning. We're going to remain clear throughout the day today. Now, we are beginning to see some abnormally dry conditions, primarily across the western portion of the peninsula, western Sussex down through Salisbury and down to Crisfield. So we do need some rain, and we may get it next week. Unfortunately, it's going to come with a potential another coastal low. We'll talk more about that coming up in the full forecast here in a little bit. Matt.
Okay, Chris. In coastal news, the Rehoboth Beach Police Department has introduced a new online tool designed to strengthen communication with people who live in and also people who visit the city. The department's new Frontline Community Policing Connect portal is now live. We're showing it to you right here on your screen. The site offers several services that promote public safety like Vacation Watch and also managing your bike in case it gets stolen.
After 50 years, the medieval castle at Old Pro Golf's 28th Street location has been torn down. The golf course was built in 1973 and became a well-known attraction along Coastal Highway. The course says the medieval theme will stick around, but it's not sure what will go there. Old Pro's golf indoor courses at 68th Street and 136th Street remain open year-round.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good morning, sports fans. We had a big game on DSN Thursday night. Easton going into Salisbury looking for a big dub. White-High trying to bounce back from a loss as well. Let's get right into it. First drive, Landon Roach. He's going to drop back, air it out, and that's picked off. Kyrie Acree gets the opening drive takeaway. He's going to bring it down all the way inside the red zone to set the Warriors up. Then a few plays later, Easton on fourth down, Brady Walls to Tucker Barnhart. You can't leave him that wide open. Just like that, Easton goes up 7-zip early in this ball game. Second quarter now, Walls to Acree. That's a tutty. Easton goes up 2 scores. It's 14-0. So we go to the third quarter, second half. Easton was up 21-0. White-High needs a spark, and they get it. Tayshawn Swan with the pick. They're not going to catch him. He takes it 75 yards back to the crib for a pick 6, and the Tribe has new life. But then we go to the fourth quarter. It's Walls loading up, looking down the sideline. Acree's got it. It's a touchdown for Easton. They go back up 21. White-High, they're going to need a little late magic. and they dial up some late trickeration. It's Roach to Jonathan Grady to Jam Stevens. He's all alone. He'll take it in for the score, but Why can't get over the hump. They dropped this one 28-21 on our Thursday night game of the night. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day, everyone.
And coming up tonight on DSN at 5, it's Down and Distance. 5:30, the high school football pregame show, Scoops and Scores. Then at 6, live Bayside Conference football when Decatur hosts Kent Island. 9:30, 1CW Pro Wrestling. At 10:30, Elisa, despite everything, it is still my regular weekend viewing.
So loyal.
I am loyal.
Yes.
Nittany Game Week. At 11, we have the final score. Now, along with that Decatur game, here's what you can expect on DSM+. At 6, we have NCAA Women's Volleyball when Maryland Eastern Shore hosts South Carolina State. Also at 6 p.m., we got more Bayside football when Cambridge South Dorchester takes on Washington. And at 7, we're in the Henlopen. Sussex Central hosting Cesar Rodney.
If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com/signup and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday. And here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Happy Friday, Coastal Delmarva, and not just any Friday. Today kicks off Sea Witch Festival in Rehoboth Beach. You also have Sunfest going on in Ocean City, and guess what? We're celebrating all of it today. We're going to be talking about some of your Halloween favorites. We're going to be talking about some ghost tours. All of that and so much more is happening today at 4 in costume and out and about on Coast Life. We'll see you then.
Cold temperatures this morning, mid to upper 30s, and we're going to warm up only into the lower 60s through the afternoon. A beautiful fall day on Delmarva, and it's Friday, and we're going to carry this momentum over into the weekend. We'll talk all about it coming up right after the break.
The time is now 6:50, and we are taking a live look outside at Laurel this morning, Chris, with a beautiful sunrise there. Another chilly fall morning on Delmarva, but a big weekend. And starting today in Rehoboth, we have Sea Witch, so people want good weather this weekend.
And we're going to get it. We're going to get a beautiful start here. Friday looking fantastic, and we're going to carry this momentum over into the weekend. And yes, it's been a cold morning out there. We're at 35 in Long Neck, 35 Redden, 38 in Seaford, and 43 in Bethany Beach. We've seen calm winds and those clear skies that's allowed for those temperatures to fall at this hour. Frost advisories up through South Jersey and points to our south and west. We could see those extend into our neck of the woods as we go into tonight, into early Saturday morning. We're clear, we're dry, and we're going to stay that way through the day today and into the weekend, all thanks to high pressure building in from the west, and that's going to settle right over the mid-Atlantic through the weekend. There's those beautiful clear skies there into Laurel, 36 degrees. Winds are calm. Sunrise 7:20 this morning, and we'll be up to 53 by around 10 this morning. We're up to 61 this afternoon, 63 Harrington, 63 in Laurel. See a high of 63 Denton, 61 in Cambridge, and we're looking at a high of 64 Pocomoke City and 63 into Salisbury. So plenty of clear skies through the evening. Really nice night for any football action going on, and another cold night with temperatures falling into the 30s with some patchy frost Saturday morning. By Saturday afternoon, chilly, dry fall day with temperatures in the upper 50s to near 60, and then we'll see partly sunny skies into Sunday with a bit more cloud cover in play. Winds today gusting 20 miles an hour out of the northwest. See more of a northerly wind into Saturday, Sunday, but winds anywhere between about 5 to 10 miles an hour through the weekend. So we're kicking off Sea Witch. Beautiful today, 62 degrees, and then those temperatures right around 59 through the weekend. Now we turn unsettled as we go into next week. Monday through Thursday is really the time frame we're kind of honing in on for the potential of another coastal low developing over the Carolinas, and that system will spin moisture up into the region, and we're looking at onshore flow, so we could be dealing with some coastal flooding issues as well as some beach erosion, rain and wind. As we go into the middle part of next week, we'll have to continue to follow how this evolves and continue to fine-tune the forecast as we go into the weekend, but we are looking at drier conditions into Halloween. Tropical Storm Melissa continues to churn in the Caribbean Sea. Tremendous amounts of impacts for Jamaica as well as Haiti and Cuba, and this system not moving all that much, producing over a foot of rain and then eventually going to curve to the north, but that doesn't come until Tuesday and Wednesday of next week as a major Category 4 hurricane. We're at 57 into Monday, cloudy skies, and watching for that rain potentially late Tuesday through the middle part of next week with temperatures in the upper 50s. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. A big comeback for shellfish in the waters of Virginia's eastern shore. Bay scallops were locally extinct for 90 years after an eelgrass disease and massive hurricane decimated their habitat in the early 20th century. But a team at the Virginia Institute of Marine Sciences Eastern Shore Laboratory has been guiding a growing population back to the bay for years. Caring for the scallops in their earliest stages of life, hard work, they say, is starting to pay off.
Past couple years, we've seen a really encouraging trajectory of our population. This year in particular, we saw that our population has now reached what Florida considers to be a stable population, and that's defined by having more than 0.01 scallops per meter squared. So we've just barely exceeded that level and hope that that trajectory will only continue.
But a goal that could be closer, recreational fishing. And the time is now 6:53, and we are going to check in with our Coastal Pet of the Day.
And today's Coastal Pet of the Day, again, is coming to us on Friday from the Brandywine Valley SPCA. Check out Mary Jane on your screen. Mary Jane is a very personable and lovable gal, and she would just love to find her forever home with you. So if you want to adopt Mary Jane or Hazelnut, who we had last hour, or any other lovable pet, just head on over to the Brandywine Valley SPCA.
We want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
Scan the QR code that's top of your screen to get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
Well, we're stepping outside the door to some cold temperatures this morning, mid to upper 30s, some patchy frost away from the beaches, and we're looking very good as we kick off Sea Witch Festival this afternoon in Rehoboth, 62 degrees, and we'll be out there on Saturday, and then we're looking at temperatures are going to hover right around the 60-degree mark there into the weekend, and then a better chance of rain as we go into the middle part of next week for a potential coastal low.
All right, quick update here. Parking lots, we talked about them. Rehoboth Boulevard, or Rehoboth Avenue and Rehoboth Beach, filled 10 minutes after 6 o'clock.
I'm sure they are. Well, thank you so much for joining us here on Coast TV News today.
Today's show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
And we'll be back for Coast TV News midday at 11 a.m.
And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great Friday morning, everybody.